Good to go. Okay, welcome everybody. Calling this meeting to order. Waldoboro and Warren Planning Boards on whatever the date is, the 24th of April. Um, First item of business is determining a quorum. We've got four members and our alternate member here today, so we have a quorum. Looks like you all have a quorum as well. Yep. Fantastic. Next up is public comment. Is anybody here to talk about anything other than this subdivision? Okay, so let's move on to the subdivision. I forgot your name already.
Greg Imus.
Greg Imus.
Yes.
Would you like to present the subdivision and explain what we're doing here?
Sure. Would you like me to do it up here or stand over? I'll stand over here and. Well, I recently purchased this property. It was Arnold Hill's place. It was 62 acres. And the main farmhouse is right up, as you can see, right up in here. And I'm proposing keeping it with 11.6 acres. And it's split it into 5 lots. And as I've walked the property, and I've been walking it quite a bit, and out there with Aaron Holmes, the surveyor, it was my desire to split it on the town line. And he explained to me that it's a difficult thing to do. There's a lot of, different surveyors have different idea what the town line is, and he said it's not as easy as you think. And so that's why we've got this line where he's proposed it. He said he can definitely justify and pin that spot. As far as I've had thoughts, I'd love to have my own farm and keep it myself, but I think because of financial reasons, I'd like to retain lot. I like lot 4 a lot. There's a road right off of here coming up into here. It comes up into an old field that's in this area. There's a high spot here that if some of it, you can almost see the pond down here. It's got a good view out this way. And so I like that a lot. If I did retain that, I may even keep lot 3 because this is all a field. There's a rock wall here, and that's why we chose this line here. This line was going to be 4, but there's a rock wall here, and that kind of angles here. And there's a rock wall here in this field. It just felt to me like it should be
one place.
possibly one place if someone wants to keep both. But standalone, it is a beautiful lot on its own. And that's why when I had Doug Maservi out a week or so ago, I had the 4 lot plan. He put in a test pit on lot 5, lot 4, lot 3. There's not one on this lot 2. So if this is approved, I'm gonna have him come back out, or if it looks like, and I'll have him put one here. He said the house is grandfathered, so he didn't feel we needed one there. These lines down here, it's fairly wet. There's like very meadowy and standing water right now. And Max had told me that we should have like a 250-foot shoreland zone line. So we kind of roughly put 250-foot line back off of this wet area. So that's what this line designates. So it's fairly nice, gentle slope here. I've got a right of way to access this lot. If you could ever access the water or pond, I'm putting a 20-foot wide right of way, just so this person can walk on this land on foot to get down to that potential area that's shown here and here, like a walking right away.
Greg, if you want, I also have the map up here.
Okay,
Points, but
is that easier to just stand up there?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm far away from everyone, but that's okay.
I don't know. I just want to test it.
So yeah, the 30-foot walking right of way is for lot 4 to access potential water access. And then I've got a 60-foot wide, so when they pull in off this existing road, this lot owner can access his land here. This town, when I met Joe, what's Joe's last? Cifaldo. Joe came out here and said, the existing home's fine, driveway here's fine. Warren had put in a culvert this last year, and there's already a roadway onto this lot already. And then the town of Waldoboro said, no problem there's already a road here. that accesses this field area up here. So. Yes, sir.
I gotta ask you this question
Yeah.
first. Are you related to Don Amos?
Yes. He's my dad's cousin, so.
I loved him, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't think in my 9 years here I've ever seen this, but, and I don't know, Max, if this, well, the question I got is, so I see where the line is. So it's Warren on one side and Waldoboro. If there are some discrepancies as to the town rules or laws or whatever, who has the suzerainty or who decides if there's any conflict with, because there is a little overlay there, and I'm sure there's gonna be some various, constructions, this, that, but who actually decides if it's right or wrong?
Where did the taxes go for that
Yeah,
wedge?
stuff like that, is that,
Right now, there's two tax bills on, it was all one property, and there's a tax bill for Waldoboro and there's a tax bill for Warren. Not gonna complain about it because I haven't been paying them for years, but Matheson did a survey showing this is 89 acres and the line's up here, so they've been taxed on like 89 acres, a bill here and a bill here, so. But it's actually 62 acres, right?
wow.
And as for your question on,
Yeah.
if there's a conflict, it's usually whichever one has the, more restrictive, I don't know why I kept having worse words to describe that, more restrictive one. However, with how it is, a lot of the lots aren't gonna be going over the town line as much. Lots 5 and 4 are entirely in Waldoboro, so we don't have to
Right.
really worry too much on Warren's one. And then that just leaves lots 3 and 1, which Dan and I were talking a bit ahead of time.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem like there's that many dimensional requirement issues or anything like that, so it's really down to the standards for a subdivision, which is why we're doing the joint subdivision.
But the town of Warren and the town of Waldoboro don't mirror each other in the way they administer their law, their laws and so forth. I mean, we're not the same as them and everything.
Wait, are we talking?
I'm just about, yeah.
Are we
just
talking
about
land use ordinance?
that, yeah, yes.
Again, that's kind of why we're doing the joint subdivision, because if there's something that comes up that we do, but Warren doesn't,
Right.
then we would bring it up during the review.
Okay, so that's what we're here to settle.
Yeah.
We all have to agree.
We can agree to disagree?
No, we have to solve it.
Oh, we have to
We have
solve,
to, yeah,
okay.
let's not create more problems. So I have a question, getting to lot 5. You say there's already kind of a road cut into lot 4, right? So I'm just wondering if it's weird for Mr. Miller here to suddenly, I have a road kind of parallel to the other road
Right.
and coming in, doesn't look like you're coming in at a right. Anyway, is that
There's a
weird
road, it's not,
intersection?
I don't think so, because as you drive by here, you've probably seen, I think there's a single wide and a large RV
Where's
motorhome
their
that,
driveway? On
Yep,
the lot.
and this one, it's,
But
even
where
though
is it? Is it on this side or over
he's
here?
coming in kind of in the middle,
In
he's
the-
coming in
okay.
here. And this one's over here a ways, so I don't feel like it conflicts with him.
Okay,
It's coming him over here and up into
and
here.
it's likely to be over there. So
Yes,
these people will both be coming onto this curved road over here. close to
Yes.
The lot line.
Yep,
So
right
do you
over
have
in
some
here.
sight lines coming in and out is basically my question.
right. I don't know what your line of sight requirements are, but there is a driveway here that's been
Mhm.
approved. This one, I'm sorry for not knowing the names. Who is your road guy?
John Daigle.
John Daigle's already looked at this and John said,
Okay.
he said this road's approved, it's grandfathered in. And so I've had him look at it.
Okay.
On paper anyway, and he said,
Say no more.
okay, all right, okay, thank you.
John's got this smart
Okay.
man. And then one other question I had, I'm just kind of curious, isn't it kind of odd not to like map out historical stone walls on, were they never property boundaries or it wasn't necessary to do?
No,
or-
those actually, I asked Aaron Holmes, I asked Doug Meservey, and Doug said, sometimes they are and sometimes they're not, and this particular stone wall, this line wasn't here, and I asked him to put the line in, and there's another one going off at an angle. This one over here just kind of ends, it looks like they said, hey, this is the field area, so a lot of times they are on boundaries, and these don't seem like they were. There's even some more, there's some, behind the house here. Looks like they just kind of pushed them back to create a field and it was never a boundary line.
As long as you're happy with it.
Yeah,
And Max, have you walked this?
No, the site visit is actually something that I've talked to Dan about, that's actually gonna be brought up a little bit later on in the meeting.
We require a site visit as the next step. Yes, we do.
Because it's a subdivision, is that why?
We are treating this as a major subdivision, I assume?
Yes.
Well, Waldoboro, you only have subdivisions, you don't distinguish between major and minor.
Correct.
It was a major for us, standards wise, it's just a subdivision.
Although who knows, after this joint subdivision meeting, I might have the board asking, hey, why aren't we doing that?
Yeah.
So
So
state statute?
there's no, that's just, yes, the state statute just kind of sort of gives you a general idea of what it's supposed to be, but state statute doesn't have a designation for what's required for. There's no major minor, it's just subdivision, so it's kind of up to municipalities to sort of decide how far down the weeds they want to go. But the question I have on the Warren side for us is, so when we go major, we do have a requirement for a paved road. Since most of these lots are already gonna have access from Fintown, is that something that we're going to require? Or what does that look like on our end? Because that's one of those things that's in there, but I don't think it ever anticipated a lot like this.
I mean, it looks like the lot that needs a road is in Waldoboro, so I feel like that would be out of, I mean, I assume that would be out of our authority.
I would think if we wanted to formally respond to that, we could waive that.
I think so
requirement.
Yeah, I mean, they're just
Citing the fact
driveways.
that It's Waldoboro's sign.
We also require a fire pond.
Yeah, cause like. When you consider this from a functional standpoint of, you've got 3 lots in Warren and just 2 over in Waldoboro. If we were to look at it from just what was over in Warren, we would only be looking at for like a minor subdivision and a little bit less restrictive, so. I don't know if those are things for us to consider. Would we be willing to waive, and can you guys provide enough justification so that those who have undergone the major process don't come with pitchforks and torches?
It is precedent.
It seems like to me, and let me get this straight, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but is there gonna be a series of things that you guys have and that Waldoboro has, and we just gotta go down them one by one and address them? Is that how this proceeds? Do we have that type of list or?
That's something that Dan and I are gonna have together for the next meeting.
I was gonna say that would be
That'd be great.
helpful, okay, so that to me is the nub of this.
Yep.
Instead of doing things, round and circle.
It is. Ballpark, 90% overlap.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's basically from our perspectives, setting up a site visit and second, a preliminary application. that Checks all of those boxes that we'll put together. That will be our next steps.
And is lot 5 the access to lot 5, is that a road or is that a private drive? Does it have to be,
This is just a right of way. So it allows them to enter onto lot 4 to access the lot 5,
right?
but there's no
So
road there now.
I understand that.
Nope.
So this question about something being asphalted or hot topped or whatever,
Yep.
I mean, it looks like it would be a private drive that the developer of that lot 5 would have to
Right,
deal with. So
correct.
is that, am I reading that right, Max?
We typically only have it as a road when there are 3 people being served by it. So
3 is the magic number.
3
Okay.
is the magic number, so right now it would be just under, but if one of them decides to split again or decides to have a duplex on there, then it would be to be a road.
I'm curious what your definition of major as opposed to minor subdivision is. What's the?
So 5 or more lots we consider as major.
When you guys and Warren look at lot 2, I'm just curious, assume you have different setbacks for the front of the property and the sides. Is that whole curve front setback? How do you look at lot 2 since it has 3 sides?
The edge of the road is,
All the front,
It's all front,
as the front access or the front setback.
yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have a 30-foot along that entire curve, and then sides would be 20 feet.
Okay, just 30 foot in a rural area?
It's weird. No, potentially wrong.
Less mowing, I mean, less snow plowing. Yeah.
We have something about having some drainage area.
oh, the density.
Density.
Yeah, but I think with these huge lots, I think we're waiting.
That looks like a blank,
Yeah.
way beyond that.
Greg, on
Yes.
this, what's the road frontage that you have for lot 3? Has it got 150 feet of road frontage? I,
297.
290,
okay,
93, I think.
then you're good. Just make a turn.
Are you planning on putting any deed restrictions into these lots once you sell them off?
Haven't thought about it, but probably the only thing I don't know that I will, but I think I'd like mobile homes. I may consider that one. But there's good modular homes. I'm fine with those. So, but anything beyond that, no, not really.
That was the point that I kind of brought up to you earlier with the issue with leaving a little sliver of lots 1 and 3
In
crossing
there.
the line.
Okay.
Is that, say, if lot 1 were to be subdivided again or created into a mobile home park, we would be doing this again. Any time a proposal that required planning board approval came up on those 2 lots.
Is it true, Dan, if that happened, you'd have to come back for like a subdivision approval or like an amendment or something to the subdivision?
Like further subdivided.
If it helps, because I've walked all of this and lot 1, I kind of configured that and gave it extra. To me, it's not wetlands, but it's tree growth. There's lots of puddles of water. There's water sitting, kind of flowing back here. It just didn't feel like a property you'd like do something like that. I guess you could, but it doesn't lend itself to that. Lot 2 does. It's fairly, dry, and there was a field here. This is all field. This is all field. I can see it happening there, but I would say other than this little wet area, that looks like a lot that if anyone wants to divide something up further in the future, I can see it being these lots. Not that they couldn't there, but I don't see that they want to go after that.
I'm curious, you have an interest in lot number 4, but
Yes.
What is your general interest? Are you a developer or contractor? or
Well, I'm a
what-
real estate agent. I was a contractor for 30 years and I live on Pitcher Pond right now. And I've been wanting to build a house. And I went up here and I got kind of excited. I go, wow, this is really beautiful here. I'd love to have this field. So it's really a private setting. You drive up here and it's just quiet. There's a field. It's really a beautiful area up in here. So that was my thought. Just, wow, how do you replace this? This is a pretty nice little spot up here. So,
Is this your first subdivision?
yes, yep,
So can I just ask,
yes.
why are we going with this weird Warren Waldoboro lot line? Why aren't we just putting it on the town? Why isn't the surveyor, I missed that. Why?
Okay, so
why
Aaron
not?
Home, I don't understand it. Maybe Dan and Max do somewhat, they can, but Aaron Home said, hey, these town lines are hard to pin. You don't just stick a pin. The towns don't even know exactly. He said, you get into a legal nightmare when you start trying to pin town lines because there's discrepancies. So he said, I'll put it close, but if I call it, he said, I'm not gonna call anything the town line. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. That's the way I heard it from Aaron. And maybe.
I don't really see it as being a problem because
You don't.
like I mean, if somebody did want to subdivide, say lot 1, like, we probably have to have another meeting like this. You know, but you're talking about a hypothetical in the future that, you know, I don't think it's really of a concern. And there's so little of it that's on the Waldoboro side of the line that, you know, if there's some, you know, whatever development you do, you can keep it all in Warren, you know, and avoid us altogether. So.
Yeah.
It just seems so easy.
Well, if I'm right, that
Yeah.
Warren Waldoboro line you have on there is guess. It's not even.
Yeah.
That's his guess. Yeah, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Getting the actual value. Once it counts. That's not what it exactly is.
Maybe this is a dumb question, but is there a way for the towns to jointly agree, hey, we're gonna call this split to be lot line?
The new town,
new town
what
line.
happens over here for Mr. Fluker's property? I mean,
If
what happens
he's-
next?
Yeah,
Where's
right. What's interesting, I mean, you know, I'll just be honest, I look at ways to prevent a meeting like this happening. And so I'm under contract, and so I've talked to Max, I've talked to Steven, and so I think talked to Dan, I don't think I talked to Dan direct, because one thought was, hey, I'll do two contracts with the seller. I'll close on the Waldoboro side separate, I'll close on Warren separate, and then all I'll be doing is splitting this lot. But that was considered, but it was really waived because there was one legal description from way back describing the entire property. And so it was entertained and said, no, that's probably not the way. So I closed, you know, as just one owner owning this piece, and we're going through it, this process. So I kind of considered that, but it didn't seem to be a benefit.
Interesting.
I just have one gnawing concern,
Okay,
and that's just me. But, okay, so you're the big guy here. You make the rules about that property, correct? I mean,
well, as an
you come-
owner, yeah, when you sell it, you.
So you
yeah,
can
put
say, I don't
covenants.
want mobile homes, I don't want this, but what if your idea? Everyone's fine over in Warren, but you make rules and the Waldoboro people, it doesn't comport with what we think as a town. Am I making any sense?
Well, we're still gonna work within the setbacks no matter what, so it's very unlikely that that's gonna be, you know,
So that,
impacted on. what
Are you
Warren
afraid that
does.
I might put further covenant and
well,
restrictions?
stuff
in it?
that you could get, lawyers and this, that, and the other thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just that,
Well, because I sell real estate.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many pieces of property there are with a sheet of covenants and restrictions.
Right.
And people say, I'm interested, they look at it and say, no, thank you. And so I don't want to create something that's gonna, deter people from wanting to own the property. So if I did anything, it would be as simple as no mobile homes. I don't even think I'll discuss no park trailers. I mean, you see all kinds of stuff. I'm not gonna have any of that either.
well, I'm very positive about this going through and.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Yeah, thank you.
So just curious, across the road, are there multiple houses? I mean, how many, is this like a neighborhood or a lot of houses across the street or?
Well, there's this, I don't know who owns these, there's a huge farm over here.
Okay.
There's another old farmhouse here. Right here. There's two buildings right here. There's I don't know if it's maybe a modular home over here, so it's kind of residential along the side.
Yeah. Okay.
Any questions from the Warren Planning Board?
Yeah, right.
I can do all the talking, guys.
The microphone.
How wide is a rod anyway?
I just looked at it. I just looked that up in the fall. It's like 16. That's the smallest one.
Three.
Oh, three.
Oh, it's wide, huh?
Do you have any questions of us?
No, I should have started, but this is all that's on the agenda. You guys came here for my project, so thank you all. It was very nice of you to come out, so thank you.
Sure thing.
I
I
appreciate
have
it.
one last question. Is there any zoning differences between Waldoboro and Warren?
Yes.
Front setback for one.
Just in what way? I mean, it's just, I mean, we have, it's just
Setbacks, minimum lot sizes.
are different.
Road frontage.
Road frontage, percentage lot coverage.
But but we quickly chatted about this before everyone showed up. We're pretty sure all lots go well beyond both our
Yeah.
dimensional
Oh,
requirements.
okay.
Pretty far beyond. The only one that potentially come into play, I guess, is minimum lot size.
What is
Well,
Warren's minimum lot size?
40,000, and you guys are 60, right?
80.
Or
80?
sorry, maximum lot coverage, but the other one,
Yeah.
ours is 20%.
Huh?
Wow.
Townwide,
Wow, even in the village?
but
Wow.
Well, it sounds like just putting together a list for us to do a check.
Yeah.
Checklist, and that seems to be the only real.
Yeah, the only other item tonight is really just the site visit item, which is a warrant requirement, but, if there's anyone from the Waldoboro side who would like to join as well, that's kind of why we're meeting tonight. We're just looking at these three, right?
No, we'd have to.
I don't know.
Even though it's really not.
Yeah, I would just hold the site visit as a joint. And again, and that was the biggest piece of advice from our legal counsel was anytime one board is hearing public, receiving public input or receiving information about the project, so seeing lot lines, both towns should be getting the same information, hearing the same responses to questions. Hearing two different stories.
Did you want to set a date for that now?
Yeah, that was what I mentioned. I know they have meetings the same date, so I don't know that we can do the next review on the 8th, but we can do the site visit potentially on the 8th.
So when will the public notices go out?
So because this was a pre-application, we did actually put out an ad in the newspaper. Pretty sure the Lincoln County News got an ad in the newspaper, but I also posted on Facebook. But at the next phase, preliminary, anyone who does abut any of these lots will get one from us. I don't know if the same requirement is for a warrant. And just for the Waldoboro plan, let's say, I don't have any items on the May 8th agenda. So
We do. The couple. Being said, if you guys want to come to Warren, swap places and put this first.
I mean, that seems fair.
I can also make something up, so you don't have to go to the warrant.
We're delighted to. Cool, yeah, we're ready already.
I would imagine that when we actually get into doing the preliminary application phase here, this is gonna take a while. If you already got two things on for the 8th, that might be too
Yeah,
much.
I would prefer to do the 4th Thursday again if we can. But I have no problem doing the site walk on the 8th if you guys want.
We've been doubling up, so, yeah.
Great, what's your timeline? Are you gonna build the houses and sell them a break grant? What is your?
So I told your two planners tonight, just to let them know. And I wanted their input. We're putting this one on the market,
Lot one.
lot one. It's got the old farmhouse. And so, I was planning on listing it tomorrow. And the reason is this lot's never been divided, so it's really a lot split to cut that. And then I can't do anything else until I have approval, but we were going to move forward and sell the old farm, the farmhouse.
So if he sells that tomorrow, say you sold it,
Right,
that change the subdivision from major to minor.
No.
No,
Still
because
split.
it's lot splits starting from 5 years. So any lot split that happens within 5 years of the initial counts towards it. So at 5 years in one day, presumably lot number one could split and do an entire new subdivision, provided that it meets all of the requirements. And then anyone else who has those lots, they can't split it unless they want to then come under further subdivision review prior to 5 years of owner.
The only functional changes that involves another party in the subdivision process.
Is it Maine statute fun?
So I'm just gonna say this because it's on my mind. The one thing I'm not, and it's, I don't think we can and this is really a planning board issue, it's kind of like a design issue, but
Okay.
coming from lot 5 onto this point across the 60-foot right of way onto that shared entrance onto the main road, you're gonna have this quite a bit of overlap, 200 feet of overlap, where suddenly you're gonna have cars coming to the south while this person's coming to their place, to the road where they turn. So it's gonna be this weird thing where you've got two sets of headlights and they're like on the wrong side from each other, you know?
Are you
So
saying,
you're leaving here. and you're
okay,
coming
so a
down here.
vehicle here and someone here at the same
Nope.
time? No,
The
from
person
there,
from the
okay.
Public. So you get this thing going on where you suddenly have, you know, like the relationship of cars to each other is opposite what everyone's used to. So 60 feet seems a little, well. it's the
Oh, so
what-
are you thinking you'd like to see him have more room to turn it?
Well,
You mean
I
more
think that the
perpendicular?
road has to be way over and there has to be a lot of trees here is what
Okay.
I'm saying. You know, you've got to do something to kind of screen that event of these two headlights coming towards each other in a
Right.
weird relationship. Just something to think about. You know?
Okay.
It's a,
Is that something we can note on the site visit to look at or?
Yeah.
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 That out, that'd be.
Yeah, okay, all right, I'd be
I
happy
don't know if
to.
that's all clear there already, or there's already thick brush or whatever, but it's something that,
mean, there's definitely trees.
Yeah.
It's pretty dense along this property line here, but it's not dense here, so,
yes, but you can see what I'm saying, right?
yep,
This
yep,
is-
no, I can see what you're saying, yeah.
This is a notoriously dangerous corner, especially in the winter. And there's a culvert that's too high and creates a big heave there. There's trees all along the side, so it never gets sun. And I'm pretty sure a kid I went to high school with got killed there in the wintertime. We were kids. Yeah, whatever you can do there. I don't think
Okay.
we can't really compel you to do much with it, but please
Okay.
keep in mind. that
Okay,
it's
sure,
dangerous
absolutely,
corner.
and we'll look at that at the site visit. If I've got to move this right away or widen it or do something there, make it bigger,
Yep.
that's fine.
Appreciate it.
Sure, you're welcome.
So what happens with the site visit?
I think I think that was part of this, what was being discussed just a moment ago. So May 8th would be the site visit, right?
We can do a site visit or we can keep everything related to this application on one date and go for the fourth.
Oh, we'll just
Thursday.
site visit and the meeting on the same date, are you saying? On
Yeah.
the-
Basically, whether you want to keep the site visit and the review on the same day or get the site visit out of the way.
I have zero preference.
Only challenge is that we already have 2 site visits on the 8th. So we would be looking at 5:30. Site walk.
You can't do that, can you, Mark?
Potentially.
Potentially.
Just depends on if I got.
Yeah, I
You-
wouldn't be able to do
Is
it.
it easier to just do a later sidewalk on the Thursday of May?
22nd.
Do the whole next,
It'd probably be easier for me at least.
22nd.
You guys have a preference?
Yeah,
No.
Eric, I know you said you were interested. Everyone else, you wanna be on the site visit as well, or?
Are we talking like 4 o'clock after May 8th? Is that what we're talking about?
No, this would be
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Day before.
On the
Jason's
22nd.
birthday.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, May 22nd, we meet down there first. And then come back here for the subdivision review.
Yeah.
But is there a quorum requirement for board members to be at a site visit?
Yes.
beforehand?
There is for
For
us.
Warren, yes.
We don't have a requirement to do
We
a
don't.
site visit at all.
No,
There
because
is-
usually I'm the one who's just doing the site visits now.
Yeah.
So if you all want to go down, that's fine.
I guess I don't feel the necessity of going to see it if I have time, but that'd be great, but it seems pretty clear cut.
The only thing I'll say is that our town attorney had recommended that if one town is going to do it, both towns should go to do it, just to make sure that there's no information that's not transferred, so that there's nothing that, because that, I think that's his concern, was that creates potentials for people to then later come back and challenge stuff on appeal of, oh, well, the Warren guys heard this, but Waldoboro missed out on that.
I'm definitely gonna go, so,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, 6:30 or something?
I think we haven't set a time yet, but
6 or 6:15, I would think.
And then it happens here again? We go from the site to here or?
You guys have a bigger space.
And especially if we're gonna be inviting butters to the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry, and when is that?
May 22nd.
On the 22nd.
And I'll send an email
Oh.
reminder for everyone.
Oh, at 7 o'clock.
The meeting would be 7 o'clock.
Right, so the site visit's at 6:15, meetings at 7?
6:15 for the site visit, 7 o'clock for the meeting.
And we park at the farmhouse? Is that where we meet?
You're welcome to. That's the best parking there. So yeah, that'd be great.
Park.
Yes, at the farmhouse.
What's
The
the,
two best, I mean, we can walk that, you can park here very well, and the next one is clear down here, there's this road up. And there's parking right down on lot 4 here too.
so
Right.
what mailbox is nearby for indicating where we are?
Down here, lot 4.
Yeah,
I don't know that there's gonna be a mailbox,
Is
but you're
Mr.
gonna
Here?
see his big RV and, and-
I'll see other cars and.
yep,
trucks.
and it will be parked here.
Okay, is that where you want to meet, lot 4?
Let's meet up here first.
Okay,
Farmhouse.
And yeah, we'll meet at farmhouse.
Okay.
And then we can hop in cars if we want to and consolidate and go down to the other if we want to. Or we can walk.
Map makes it look a little bigger, doesn't it?
and your tick spray.
Bring tick spray, because there's been plenty of, there's little dinky things
You
and
could.
they're out there.
Awesome.
Anything else to talk about on this?
Thank you very much.
Sure
I
thing.
appreciate
Thanks
all
for
of
coming.
you showing up. Thank you.
So Max, you guys are gonna come up with a list and then send it to
Yes,
us
Dan and I,
before the meeting?
that's Dan. I don't know if we've gone through introductions. That's
No.
Dan, the planner over in Warren.
Okay.
Convenient. We're both MCOG employees and town planners for the two towns, so
Oh,
we know each other.
okay.
Perfect.
Excellent.
But yeah, Dan and I are gonna try and get a checklist together and
That has both requirements.
all
Okay.
that stuff.
Awesome.
Like I said, it is a lot of, we have a couple extra things, I think, from my read so far, but it's a lot of overlap, 95% overlap. Yeah.
Great.
Got it.
All right. Thanks for coming, guys. We gotta approve some minutes, but you don't want to take off, feel free.
I guarantee we need to officially adjourn the joint.
Oh, I don't know what Warren is doing.
No, I was actually gonna say, I didn't have the minutes on the agenda for this one, because it was just gonna be the joint. meeting.
Oh, so we are adjourning?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
perfect.
do it.
I like doing fewer things.
Yeah, quick motion and everything, just
Oh,
minor procedure things.
Thank you.
all in favor? Okay.